eventually got one in the guise of Owen McCormack. Roscommon looking to penetrate this Dublin defence now. David Murray. And helped in behind towards Kieran Murtagh, who puts the brakes on. The initial shooting opportunity is closed off. Now Kieran Lennon, and Lennon puts the ball over the bar for the opening score of the game.
Good score by Roscommon, Dave. Very patient, kept the ball for the guts of 2.5 minutes. Kieran Murtagh probably had a chance to pull the trigger himself, but it's a good start for Roscommon. They're conceding the kickouts as well, which is interesting, filtering bodies back into their own half. Into the Dublin team. It's his biggest test, I'd say, to date.
Enda Smith trying to angle that ball inside, and it was won really well on his knees by Kieran Lennon, who turns and gets his and Roscommon's second score of the game. Really impressive stuff from the mid towards Kilkenny, who's swallowed up by the Roscommon defence, and it breaks back out to the Dublin centre-half forward Sean Bugler. Back for Costello now, who's plenty of time to set himself, size up the target and fire it over the bar.
Roscommon, they'll be happy enough. They've nearly turned over Kieran Kilkenny. They're going to try and frustrate that Dublin attack. But Cormac Costello, very sharp start to the game for him. A great score, get Dublin off the mark.
It's the 99th point of Cormac Costello's senior champion.
Dublin just need to be patient and try and work a score.
Conor Callaghan jinks one way, then back off his left and swings it over with his right. Impressive from him. It's his first score.
Great score from Con. He would have been a little bit frustrated. He had a couple of opportunities in that Leinster final against Louth, which he didn't convert, but he's off the mark. A beautiful score.
It's a goal and 14 for him. Enda Smith now hasn't really had a shooting opportunity as yet. Just takes an extra moment to steady himself. Brian Howard never got close enough to him, and Smith has the class and the accuracy to hurt you from that range.
A great score from Roscommon. Well worked again, getting the ball to their best shooters, and a brilliant finish by Enda Smith.
Dublin have got themselves back up and running quickly though, and then a slip. Again and again. O'Callaghan.
I don't think there's any harm in Dublin actually just getting a spell of possession themselves, just getting players involved. We said it, Brian Fenton, Kieran Kilkenny, they're kind of on the fringes of the game. Dublin just need to get their hands on the ball and to get settled into this match after 23 minutes.
Fenton. Costello does well to get turned away from his marker. That's much better from Dublin. Costello with his second score of the game. It seemed very simple, and they'll be looking for more of that.
Yeah, a bit of incision from Brian Fenton. He sees the pops it into Costello and a brilliant score. He looks very, very sharp so far.
He had a very good day in the Super 8.
Because that's kind of his game, Dave. It's not all about just scores, but he's so pivotal. The amount of possessions he gets and the outlet he gives this Roscommon team.
Enda Smith pops it inside, and it comes back out towards Dermot Murtagh. Murtagh looking to bend it off his left. That's a cracking score. His first from play, and it's a beauty.
Brilliant score from Roscommon again. Look, they're full value for that 4-point lead. There's no argument with that.
The referee playing an advantage off a foul by Brian Howard, and now Roscommon may be feeling as the seconds tick by towards half-time. They can go looking for a score.
A massive score to get. They've kept the ball for the guts of 4 minutes.
Great turn from Kieran Murtagh, and inside onto his left. That is a huge score for Roscommon. It puts them forward once again, and having monopolised the ball for the guts of 4 or 5 minutes, toyed with Dublin, they are the team that get the white flag raised, and there is the half-time whistle. How well they managed those last few minutes.
Look,
Kenny.
One-on-one inside, Ben O'Carroll. Tony Smith was looking, but he decided against it.
Mannion hunting down Keane McKeown does well to wriggle free, and they've a little bit of space on that far side now with David Murray. Here's Ben O'Carroll, one of the best performers for Roscommon in that first half, of which there were many in fairness. And back out they go, recycling it towards Eddie Nolan. Gets a call over his shoulder from Niall Daly. Daly onto his right foot, and Daly fires over. A brilliant score, a real settler for Roscommon in this second half.
He's had an excellent game so far, and that's a beautiful score for Roscommon. Well worked. Great finish from Niall Daly.
Brian Howard, that four. It's really good work from
Big
Scully.
chance, big
and
chance.
O'Callaghan slips one through to full Mannion. And off goes Con once more. Roscommon do have men funneling backwards. O'Callaghan inside to McCarthy. And McCarthy, well, the ball's ended up in the net. And the green flag has been raised and the goal has been given. Bundled over in a rather unorthodox fashion in the end. But John Small arrives at the fringe of that Dublin attack just in the nick of time. And what a game-changing moment that could be.
It's brilliant from Niall Scully. He gets the turnover and straight away, that's the risk Roscommon take. Once Dublin turned them over, they were clean through on goal. Not the prettiest, but John Small is effective. Dublin won't mind. They're back in this game.
Second chap, but just couldn't get close enough to the man in possession. And Costello on his right foot. And Dublin lead. They lead for the first time in this game.
It's all covered from those turnovers, Dave. That's their turning Roscommon over. Not allowing them to dictate the pace of the game, and Dublin are really clinical now. Costello, he's been sharp all day. That's another brilliant score for him.
McClone wins the kick out and releases it quickly into the path of Conor Daly. And now it's with Tony Smith. Daly gets the return ball. It was a good tackle that came in from John Small. Murta strikes it well and strikes it over the bar for his fourth of the game.
A massive score, only their second point of the second half, but Kieran Murta, he's been shown unbelievable leadership today.
Mick Fitzsimons, under 2 minutes to play. Lorcan O'Dell. Really good work from Lorcan O'Dell. He's got Dean Rock as an option outside him. O'Dell holds on to it and he has support runners in and around him now. Bugler was one of them. O'Dell back to Bugler. Bugler on his left foot. That's a really well-worked score from Dublin, and finally they are now starting to purr in attack.
Brilliant energy from Lorcan O'Dell. We said he's been so busy since he came on only 5 or 10 minutes ago. Brilliant in the link and injects that pace. And Bugler again, he's had a massive second half for Dublin again, on and off the ball.
James, but he kept his cool, and he's on the ball again, becoming an increasingly more influential part of this Dublin attack as the seasons go by. Here's Fenton. Oh, that's so untypical of Brian Fenton. You know, put your house in firing that one over the bar, and that means the lead remains 1, and Roscommon now on the counter-attack.
It was brilliant from Fenton right up till he pulled the trigger, and a big chance for Roscommon out to nick an equaliser.
Cox, oh, lovely dummy. And then he was tagged as the ball was delivered, and that's going to be a free in front of the post. And we're going to have a drawn game here. Well, Cox has made a big impact. And it'll be Donny Ryan to tap this one over the bar. Donny Smith, rather, for his first. Gasco's a shot to nothing, really, for the Kerry man. The referee calls to the ball and brings this game to a conclusion. And the two top teams in this group on paper